Yo. I need a one in the chat if y'all hear me. I need a one in the chat if y'all hear me. I need a one in the chat if y'all hear me. I need that one in that chat if you hear me. There you go. I'm sorry for the delay, y'all. See, like when it comes to this, hold on. Like when it comes to this, whole production thing, I keep forgetting I have a whole bunch of setups, right? So I have the mic, the setting for the mic can go to this, and then I'm forgetting to switch it to this. It can't be connected to so many programs at once. Some programs is like that. It's not the computers, but it could be the program. So if I have it connected to this, and then you got to switch it to this, and that, I was supposed to be on here at 11 o'clock. But like, I know you guys in your mind, oh my God, that is so unprofessional. Oh my God, he can't even come on time. That is so unprofessional. But yes, I see you guys in the chat. We gonna get to it, right? So the other people that come in and they just come in or look at the playback, you guys already know the deal, right? So yeah, I'm here. I'm about to get on the screen in a second. I'm just making sure everything is good. But what is today's topic? Is Patrick Mahomes, right? You guys know the quarterback that they're letting have all these Super Bowls now. The one after Tom Brady. For those that don't know, he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. He just lost this past Super Bowl. Right, to the Eagles. He beat the Eagles 2 years prior. But some interesting things is going on with him. As you guys know, right? So we just want to talk about it, right? Is this his injury season? Right? So, I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's start off with Thursday's game. Right? Thursday's game. Chargers and Chiefs. I already told y'all I'm starting off right now with this game because that is my main game of the week. That's my main game of the week. So you guys know. Chargers, Chiefs. I have the Chargers with the +3. I know when I first posted it, I had Chargers money line, right? But then I said no. I'm bugging because I can't be sitting there telling you guys, yeah, if you see a 3, damn near the 3, when you see the 3 spread, right, it's damn near even game. It's like it's a pick 'em now. You might as well go with the underdogs. You guys don't have to listen to it, right? I'm not saying it's a for sure thing. The Chiefs can end up winning because the Chiefs have their number. If you go check the stats, the Chiefs, I think, beat them the last what? Somebody in the chat can probably tell me. The Chiefs beat them the last 7. Now I'm going off the top of my head, people. I'm not going off for no stats. Going off for what I know, for what I remember. The Chiefs maybe beat them like 7 times in a row, 8 times in a row. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure one of you good people in the chat can let me know about that, right? So, they can always beat them again, of course. But that leads me into today's topic. Is Patrick Mahomes' injury? Is this Patrick Mahomes' injury season? And I'm not going to lie to you. I remember last season on the live, I'm not sure if it was mine or when I was on Lobo. Shout out to my man Lobo. If I was on his live, I did say a Patrick Mahomes injury season is coming. I did say that. I said that. A couple days ago, I think it was Money Man Wow. He was in my comments and he said, I think this is the season Patrick Mahomes gets injured. And I found that funny. I said, wow, my man, shout out to him on that one, because that's exactly what I think is going to happen. Now, It could be a stretch. If not this season, it could be next season. I do think that a down year is going to happen. And we all know, let's just get straight to it, right? Because I don't like to sugarcoat things when it comes to this, right? Hear me out. When certain professional athletes, have to have a down year, right? When they have to have a down year, it's usually met with some type of an injury. Somebody let me know if I'm lying. I'm gonna get to the shout outs in a second. I see all you good people in the chat. I'm gonna get to you guys. You know that. But tell me I'm lying. Somebody let me know. Oh my God, you're lying. Tell me, somebody let me know if I'm lying. Usually when a professional athlete, a top one, has to have a down year, it's usually met with some type of injury, ironically, right? He just can't have a bad year. Am I right or am I right? Right? Now, the professional athletes that, oh damn, I'm trying to think of some. I'm trying, not to be funny. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if he was out for the whole season, but didn't Michael Jordan have a injury season in his early career? Right? If I'm not mistaken, didn't Michael Jordan have or I could be wrong, right? But just know something has to happen to an athlete. LeBron James has been solid basically his whole career, but until when he beat the record, right? When all of a sudden he beat Kareem, then all of a sudden they just sitting him down so much, and then we know the Lakers season damn near tumbled for sure after that, right? Every time an athlete has to, Tom Brady, right? He's actually known as the actual GOAT in football, right? Did Tom Brady not have an injury that caused him to be out for the whole season? Right? Right? Wasn't it the season right after it was right after they almost had that undefeated season against and then lost to the Giants, right? Wasn't it the next season all of a sudden Tom Brady had to take a fall, right? Now, a lot of people compare him to Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, that is. So if they're comparing Patrick Mahomes to Tom Brady, right? I don't do that. But if you guys want to go for that, then I mean, let's start. You guys can't just keep talking about the good that goes with Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. We also have to go with the bad that goes with Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, right? Okay, Patrick Mahomes, he has three rings right now. Yeah, but besides that, he still has time left to catch up to Tom Brady. I don't think that's going to happen, but you guys know what I'm saying. But how come Patrick Mahomes can't have an injury year right after he loses the Super Bowl, right? Because Tom Brady's injury season came after, right? I could be wrong. But Tom Brady with the whole Randy Moss, remember that year? Almost went undefeated, right? Lost to the Giants in the last game, and then he got injured and was out for the whole season, right? So if we want to compare Tom Brady to Patrick Mahomes, now y'all probably saying, why am I talking about Tom Brady? Because man, this is getting into that whole movie thing. See, I have it all lined up off the top of the head. So if we want to compare Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes and that whole GOAT status, how come Patrick Mahomes just doesn't get injured right after he loses the Super Bowl? Kind of like how Tom Brady did. Right? The good old fake injury, right? So you guys see what I'm saying, right? What is this, Patrick Mahomes? This is his seventh? Patrick Mahomes, this Patrick Mahomes' eighth season, right? Something like that, right? Because he got drafted. He got drafted in 2017. Yes, he got drafted in 2017. We're in 2025, right? So what? Eight seasons, something like that, right? Well, how come that doesn't happen to Tom Brady? Why can't it happen to Patrick Mahomes? This is what I want you guys to understand. He loses to Tom Brady loses the Super Bowl. And the next season, they give him that off year, quote unquote off year. Oh, why can't the same thing happen for Patrick Mahomes? If not this season, I'm willing to bet it will happen like next season. Either one. Not trying to be negative. Not trying to be none of that. But it just is what it is. Right? A lot of people don't want to believe it. They don't want to. Hold on, sorry about that. They don't want to rock with it. They don't like it. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. What they call that? I know we're still early in the live, but we're gonna get to the trailer to talk about that movie because the movie has a lot to do with Patrick. I personally believe that this movie is a Patrick Mahomes movie. Now, you guys don't find it ironic they get somebody that looks like Patrick Mahomes? Oh, all of a sudden, ironically, we just happen to pick him, but no, this has nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes.
Are you fucking serious?
I don't believe that. I do believe this is a Patrick Mahomes movie. Yo, put in one in the chat if you hear the bombs. Let me know if you hear the bombs. I want to make sure y'all hear the bombs correctly. If you hear the bombs, drop and put a one in that chat. I'm gonna get to my shout outs. So there's more people coming. Pause. I'm seeing. I'm looking at a couple of you guys. Super Bowl predictions. Kind of interesting. I see it. But okay, we got the one. Shout out to my man Repeat. Repeat's like, yeah, I hear the bombs, man. Shut up and get to the point, man. Get to the stop. We hear the bombs. My man Repeat in the building. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But seriously though, all jokes aside, people, we have to look at it like this. I know there's still a lot of people that's heavy on the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I know a lot of you guys are still heavy on the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, there's a lot of you that seem to think the Kansas City Chiefs is going to win the Super Bowl from here on out for the rest of their career. I mean, Patrick Mahomes he's going to retire with about 30 rings. A lot of you guys really do feel that way. It's not gonna happen, but you guys know who I'm banking on this season. I have no more favorite teams. This is rigged, scripted, and fixed. You know my stance on sports. Yeah, I know my stance on sports. I watch it when it comes to business. It's a business thing when I watch it. I'm analyzing different things. I'm just not one of those that's just that fan with that jersey. I had that. I had plenty of jerseys. I don't have them no more. Right? But a team that I'm high on or I have high hopes on, I'm not going to lie to you, is I've been saying it for about the last 3 to 2, as long as you guys knew me. Right? Especially for the new people that's now tuned in. I've been high on the Packers and I'm sticking with that. There's certain reasons why. Right? My man Repeat in the building. Shout out to my man Repeat in the building. My man Mello the Great. 13. He's in the building. See my man Mike Lange on the screen. He's in the building. Mateo the Pleasant on his New York. He's in the building. Cactus Chizak. He's in the building. Shout out to my lovely wife making sure. Yeah, press the one. I hear. Yes, we hear you. We hear you. Get to the point. Yes, shout out to my wife on that one.
Are you fucking serious?
Said Cactus Job. My man Des Dixon, he's in the building. Now, when I say the build, I mean the chat. You know, shout out to the people that's in the chat that's not talking. Shout out to y'all too, because you could be anywhere in the world, but you here with me and you listening. We gonna get straight to the point, right? So shout out to y'all too, because y'all didn't have to be here, and you guys are here. So I appreciate every single one of you guys that is tuned in. For real, for real. Adrian Settles, he's in the building. My man Max, that's my man Max. You know he here. My man Max, he's in the building. I'm gonna get to his comment in a second. My man Thomas, Tom. That's why I call him Tom. He's in the goddamn building. My man Jeremiah Adro, he's in the goddamn building. Shout out to you, Jeremiah. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, right? So, I mean, that's for the people that's in the chat. Now, everybody else watching, shout out to y'all too. Shout out to y'all too. Now, right? Let's get to these comments and let's talk about it. Let's talk now. Yes, Mello the Great says, yeah, I think 7 or 8 times the Chiefs beat them. Yeah, there you go. I didn't check that, but from what I remember, all the times that you guys been here with me, rocking, watching these games and going over the games, I just remember off the top of my head, it was at least 6 to 8 times, and something like that, right? I just know that the Chiefs always beat them, and they always showed what's his name, the stupid ass quarterback from Chargers. They always show his face on the sideline every time the Chiefs take a goddamn knee.
Are you fucking serious?
And the game's over. So I just remember that happening so much. So yeah, you know, they got them beat. Mello also says, I see a down year for the Chiefs and the Broncos win the division. Hold on, I need to ask a question, y'all. For everybody that's in the chat, for everyone that's watching, how come you guys are so big on the Broncos? Now, Mello, I'm not saying you're wrong. But I need to know, is it something that I'm missing when it comes to the Broncos? Is it the quarterback? Is it what is it? The organization? I mean, I've been paying attention to them, right? But I want to know, because a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of money and there's a lot of handle on the Broncos winning the actual division. Now, is it a pattern that I'm missing? Because I was trying to look at it. I'm like, I know I mean, to me, the Broncos last year's was when they had Peyton Manning, right? You know, he retired, you know, blah, blah, blah. Because they went to the Super Bowl like what, back to back, right? Lost one because, you know, they got blown out by what? Russell Wilson, right? And then the next year they actually happened to win because your man Cam Newton didn't jump on the ball and things like that. But what am I missing for why the Broncos is going to win this year? And I'm not saying they're not. I'm not against any of you guys that's saying that, but I just want to know, what am I missing? Somebody fill me in on what's going on up there in Denver to why they're going to win, right? Mello also says, I see Saquon getting injured as well to hold the Eagles back from winning. Saquon's going to, like I said last week, Saquon is going to go back to Saquon. He's going to get injured. That's a fact. I don't like wishing people getting hurt for real, right? If you're getting injured for real, no, it's not funny. It's nothing good about that. No, but these injuries do happen to come at a weird time, right? So I do see Saquon missing a couple of games. I do. I see it because it's funny if these injuries are so-called real, right? We all know your body slows down when you're a professional athlete or when you're an athlete, period. As you get older, Saquon was injury prone in his early years. So what makes you actually think it gets better as he gets older? Somebody talk to me. That absolutely positively makes no type of sense. I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, it's Saquon. it's Saquon. So I do see him respectfully. I do see him getting hurt. Yes. Right? I see it. But it is what it is. Right? Shout out to Melo on that one. Right? Adrian says the good old fake injury. Yes. Patrick Mahomes get now. Listen, if he doesn't get hurt, then he don't get hurt this season. But don't think that the Kansas City Chiefs is gonna win the Super Bowl. I don't. Nah, I don't think they. No, they're not winning. They're not gonna win the Super Bowl.
Are you fucking serious?
Last year I was going hard on them not winning the Super Bowl. I'm going to do it again, y'all. I guarantee you. I positively guarantee you. That don't even sound like a real word, right? A real term. But I'm willing to bet anybody that the Kansas City Chiefs does not win the Super Bowl. And I'm dead serious, especially the people that was getting at me when it's Kansas City Chiefs won the AFC. Right? Certain people that don't rock with me no more because they turned against me because of how I was going on against the Chiefs, and they felt so happy when they won the AFC. It was like, yeah, see, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. Ever since then, when the Chiefs lost that Super Bowl, and damn near they really got blown out. The NFL just let the Eagles go easy on them. I never heard from them guys no more, too. I noticed that. And now if they fake watching or watching from other pages, yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Repeat. Repeat says, yo, B. Brady missed his 7-8 season, the 2007-8 season, if you're talking about, right, or his 8th season, the 7th-8th season. And this is Mahomes' 8th season. So yeah, there you go. That's a pattern. Y'all expect Patrick Mahomes to probably get hurt. Now, listen, this is the live that we're all going to come back to once Patrick Mahomes gets hurt. Now, when I say get hurt, once again, I'm not wishing on nobody to really get hurt, but let's just call it what it is here on Rig Scripted and Fixed. There's scripted injuries, because that will be Patrick Mahomes' excuse as to, well, that will be the media's excuse as to why the Chiefs didn't go anywhere, why Andy Reid had a so-so year, why Patrick Mahomes had a down year. We know Travis Kelce's about to call it quits. He's so-called getting married to Taylor Swift. Right? Repeat also says, also, Brady was suspended 4 games for Deflategate. As you guys know, y'all know about that one. I was in he was suspended 4 games in 2016. The 2016/17 season, the same season where he went on to win the Super Bowl and come back from 28-3 against the Atlanta Falcons. That's the reason why whenever people talk about the Falcons, I don't even want to hear them, because I just think, so he also needs a humility time. Patrick, it's gonna come. I think it's starting to happen. It's starting to happen. I really believe so. Patrick Mahomes' punishment is coming up. Anybody that's watching, please don't think I'm sitting here bugging. I'm sorry for what I'm saying. Trust me. I'm not lying to y'all. This is gonna be a punishment year for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. It could be this year, or it could be next year, but I'm going to stick on this year. I'm not high on them. I see a lot of people's high on the Broncos once again in the AFC West. What am I missing? I must be missing something. But this is why we got to get into that whole movie thing, the injury, and in the movie something. This is Max says you suspect the game in Brazil, a Chargers dub. Well, Max, okay, so originally I did put Chargers money line, right? I put the Chargers money line on there, right? But it was actually an accident. I meant to say Chargers +3, and the reason why I said +3 is just in case it ends up in a field goal game, especially where they're playing. When you think about Brazil, what sport? Somebody let me know. What sport do you think about when you think about Brazil? In the chat. Or if anybody takes too long to write, I could tell you. You think about soccer, right? Think about soccer. That's like the main sport you think about. I know they got other sport. They got UFC fighters, and professional MMA fighters. They got professional tennis play. They even have basketball teams. They have all of that stuff. And when you think about Brazil, you're going to think about soccer the most. And we know how the NFL is. If they want to cater to these other countries, right? Because maybe they're trying to expand and do what they're trying to do, right? Because they might as well, because it's called nation. They're trying to get other teams from other places, right? We know that's what they're working on. That's going to happen in the future. We already see it coming. So why not have these games end in field goal games or end in 3? The 3 is what actually can tie a game or make you win it, right? It can land on 3. So I have to go with that, right? So I'm not going to say that's going to happen 100%, but I said to cover you guys, take charges with the +3. The +3, it can save you. That way, if the Chargers do stink it up once again, you can at least say, okay, it landed on 3. Maybe you get a push, right? Or if some of you guys probably add a half a point, if you add a half a point here and there, something like that, or maybe you take a point, and bring it to 4, you probably can end up a winner instead of just saying, let me take the Chargers straight up. So it's about being safe, because I just don't want you guys to jump out the window. Now, if you feeling froggy and you want to jump out the window, by all means, take the Chargers money line. Go ahead. But I don't think it's not too much of a difference in the money. Depends if you're going straight up or if you're parlaying it with something. Everybody's money is different, So to be safe, on the safe side, I would say take the +3. That's it. Now, this is via FanDuel as I'm speaking to you. Your DraftKings, your Bovada, your your Hard Rock. What else sports book there is? There's a lot of sports books, right? It might be something different. It might be a 3.5. You might see something with a 2.5. Take the 3 to be safe. I'm telling you. There you go. So that's how I feel, Max. Cactus says Peyton Manning had to miss the entire 2011 season with a neck injury. Yes, that is so true. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So my thing is, a lot of these people that they call the greats, Patrick Mahomes is a great, as they say. I don't believe so, but in real football, I don't think so. Real football. I'm talking about real football where there's no money and billions of dollars involved. No, absolutely not. Like I always said, back in his days, what's his God damn, what's his name? What's his name for the Rams? Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. He can all them throws that freaking Patrick Mahomes does, Matthew Stafford can do, and even better. I don't understand how you guys don't realize that. It's all about what the media wants to talk about. Matthew Stafford can do all that stuff that Patrick Mahomes does. That's for one. And then number 2, we talking about talent-wise, he's not better than Aaron Rodgers talent-wise. He's not.
Are you fucking serious?
It's all about the narrative. Once again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, people, but for those that don't know, let me speak for a couple of seconds here. Well, I've been speaking the whole time, right?
Are you fucking serious?
But no, seriously. You guys know why Patrick Mahomes was pushed. Patrick Mahomes was pushed for only one reason. Patrick Mahomes was pushed because of the whole thing with the St. Louis Rams, which was in Missouri, going back to LA, and Missouri only had one team left, hence the Kansas City Chiefs. So what did the NFL do? Okay, we're gonna make this right. NFL had to make it right with the state of Missouri. How do we make it right? The only team that you have left since us taking St. Louis and going and moving back to LA, that causes jobs, a lot of things, the fans get pissed. There's a lot of things that go into that, right? A lot of things when it comes to tax, money, all that. This is how we make it right. We're going to make sure that team that you have, the only team that you have left, the Kansas City Chiefs, we're going to make sure they become a quote unquote dynasty and rule. You guys don't find it funny that Missouri has been the main place in the NFL for the past 5, 6, maybe I would say 9, 8 years. It's been about the state of Missouri, Kansas City, almost damn near every AFC game. Almost, not all people, but almost every AFC game had to be in Arrowhead. All of a sudden. So Patrick Mahomes is just that great. Now, this is for the people, for anyone that been rocking with me for a while. You guys is probably like, yo, you sound like a broken record. You've been saying this 1,000 times. No, it's for the new people that's rocking with me. So if anybody wants to know why the Kansas City Chiefs have the success that they do, it's only because of that. It's nothing more, nothing less, right? That's what that's about. Patrick Mahomes he's a built player. He's a built player. We know what that's about. A lot of people don't want to speak on it. The media can't speak on this. Of course they can't. But the state of Missouri is because of what's going on with that's why I say the LA Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs are still linked to each other. You notice how there's been so many times we could have got a LA Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl for the past for the past 8 years or so. You know how many times we almost got that? You guys don't find that ironic though? You guys don't find that ironic how we never actually got that? The Rams and the Chiefs all of a sudden just can't do good at the same time. When I say good, they both can't win their AFC and their NFC championship so they can meet each other. It's been so many times it could have happened. Hence, it could have happened in the 2018 season. Patrick Mahomes' breakout year, first year as a starter, right? What was the final 4 teams that was left? Let me cook. The 2018, which Super Bowls played in 2019. Who was the final 4 teams? The Patriots and the Chiefs, right? The Saints and the Rams, right? What happened? That on the first game, the Saints quote unquote got cheated. We know about that pass interference call, right? The Rams actually happened to win and go to the Super Bowl. All right, so the Rams is locked in, right? But you got the Chiefs versus the Patriots, right? Looked like the Chiefs could have had it, right? And all of a sudden, what was that false start or whatever happens, right? And then goes to overtime. Tom Brady does what he does, and all of a sudden he actually wins. So now we get the rematch of when Tom Brady first started, the Rams versus the Patriots. How come we didn't get the Chiefs versus the Rams at that time? It could have happened. How about I tell you another time, not to talk you guys' heads off. How about another time when we had that whole Joe Burrow season, his second season in the league or whatever that was. He ends up beating the Chiefs and goes against the Rams in the in a Super Bowl, right? How come the Chiefs couldn't win that? Why the Chiefs couldn't win that one? The Chiefs could have won. We could have got Chiefs and Rams at that time. Let me cook. You guys get what I'm saying. Now I'm reading your comments. I gotta catch up because you guys are saying some good shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna catch up though. I remember Jeremiah had said, how many rings is Patrick Mahomes gonna finish with? Well, let me tell you something, Jeremiah. He's not gonna have 7. Patrick Mahomes is not going to have 7 rings, and I'm willing to bet with anyone about that one as well. Patrick Mahomes will not have 7 rings. That's not going to happen no time soon. I don't even think any of us is going to be alive to see another quarterback with 7 rings. Right? Is he going to end up with 8? Y'all always probably wonder, yo, B5, what's up with you with that number 8? You're on that number 8 a lot. Anybody that been rocking me, I said that 3 seasons ago. Pay attention to the number 8. It's a lot that deals with the number 8. Because the 8 actually relates to the number 6 as well. That's why 24 is a big deal. 2 times 4, but also 2 plus 4. 5 and 3. Always pay attention to 5 and 3, y'all, too. 5 and 3 is very important. 53, 35, however you want to put it. It's not just regular numbers. Every single one of you guys know math. I'm not trying to teach you guys nothing. These numbers mean something when you break it down. So I'll tell you this, Jeremiah. I would say he has 3 right now, right? Patrick Mahomes has 3. Maybe 4. Not that as crazy as it sounds. I'll honestly, I'm probably gonna say 4. I'm gonna probably say 4. He'll have a little bit of a break, probably win another one. I'm gonna probably say 4, but let's not even talk about 7. If you guys want to say 5 or 6, 7, that's not happening at all. I don't think that's happening. Thomas says, I'm loving the Rams versus the Ravens. Super Bowl 60. Oh, that's a bit of a stretch. Nothing wrong with it, Thomas, but okay, the Rams situation. Do they give Matthew Stafford another one? Because they was better off giving Matthew Stafford 2 in a row. Just give him 2 and then get rid of him. What I mean by get rid of him is be done with him. But we do know the whole Super Bowl is coming back to LA, right? So, and then also the Olympics is happening in LA. So you have to prop up LA, which is another reason why I say pay attention to the Chargers. Now, I didn't say anything about the Chargers winning no goddamn championship, no Super Bowl or anything like that. I ain't say all that. But making noise. Got to make noise in that stadium. Just like they'll let the Rams do what they do too to make noise in that stadium. LA is already a rich city, but you can bring more attention to that city as you have the Super Bowl coming back, and then as you have the Olympics coming back. You understand what I'm saying? So SoFi can be rocking even more. That's why I say pay attention to the Chargers to make noise. Make noise. Once again, make noise. Win the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. I don't know if I can go that far. You guys is bugging out with that one, But yeah, Thomas also says the blue and yellow is a dominant color. Yes, it is. Don't fall for that bullshit though. I mean, well, the Chargers is blue and yellow too. I'm not saying that they're gonna win. So we got to pay attention to these type of things. Oh no, I got that one already. Thomas also says on the actual Super Bowl trophy on the logo, there's a reflection of blue and a reflection of pink/purple. I'm really loving that Super Bowl prediction. Rams added Devontae Adams. Yeah, actually, shout out to them too. Yes. Now y'all know that was the second team that I was always high on too. Guys can go back on the lives. You can go to the past lives, and nobody. So I don't want no one saying you're lying. That you guys know that I was on the Packers, and I also said I'm going to pay attention to the Rams as long as the whole Chiefs dynasty thing, the quote unquote Chiefs dynasty thing, is going on. I'm still going to pay attention to the Rams. Somebody tell me I'm lying about that. I am not lying. I'm sticking with that. I'm still high on the Rams. They're not my number one pick as like the Packers are, but I'm high. I'm always going to have the Rams there. So anytime you guys ask me about a possible Super Bowl matchup, I will throw the Rams in one of my matchups. I'm going to just do that because it is what it is. Because this whole thing with Missouri, is it officially over yet? We don't know. When Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs go in a big slump, then we could probably say, yeah, it's about over. Because remember, they have to, they go by dynasties. You're going to have to jump into a new one. Or we're going to have a parody for a while. Remember when after the Patriots had their first run, then we had a little parody. When I say that is there was no consistent team, right? Remember after that, the Patriots first run, there was no consistent team. We always had different teams winning the Super Bowl until the Patriots started going back to the Super Bowl a lot after that. And then, Tom Brady left. But, and then came the Chiefs run. Are we going to have another parody coming soon in the NFL? Then that's when we know, okay, something is up with that one. Just to let you know, Thomas says, all I know is neither the Eagles nor the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, but the Packers, Rams, and the NFC. Make a lot of sense. Since I can't trust Detroit for real. AFC is a lock between Buffalo and Baltimore. That's an interesting take. What do you guys think of? What do you guys think of that? A lot of you guys high on Buffalo, high on Baltimore. Is this the season one of those two guys, Josh Allen or Lamar, get to play in the Super Bowl? They're gonna have to do. Lamar gonna have to change his image. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Lamar gonna have to change his image, bro, because they don't like that. They don't like that. He's gonna have to change his image. Do I have a problem? I think he's talented as hell. I actually think he's better than Michael Vick in real football, right? But you know how that goes. It's not up to me. I don't got no power. NFL, they don't like that. It's like, be our good old boy. We'll make sure you get your MVPs and things like that. But lifting up that trophy, you're gonna have to change up your style.
Are you fucking serious?
Jeremiah says, do I see Jordan Love getting 2 rings in his career? I see 1. I could say 1 for sure. 1 for sure. 1 for sure. No, I mean 2. I don't know, because maybe who knows? Are they going to give him that Aaron Rodgers script? Right? Are they going to give him that Aaron Rodgers script? For anybody that was watching last week, what's my Super Bowl matchup this season? No. Not my pick, my wish. My wish Super Bowl matchup. The one that I wish for. The Packers versus the Steelers. I want to see the Packers versus Steelers part 2. We all know Aaron Rodgers had won that when, Aaron Rodgers, a couple of seasons ago, not a couple of seasons ago, but, when he won his first one, it was against the Steelers, right? I want to see it again. I want to see Aaron Rodgers against his old team, the Packers, and Jordan Love win his first Super Bowl that way. I think that's the best scenario that we can get this season. I know there's a lot of people that probably would not agree with me, but that's the best scenario that we can get. Patrick Mahomes, the Steelers versus the Packers. Jordan Love gets his first ring. Aaron Rodgers loses to his former team. I don't see no other storyline this year that makes sense to me, to be honest with you. Like, storyline wise, what do you guys see, right? And we'll get to that later on. Right? But that's the best one. So now I'm gonna get to the let me get to the latest comments. Jeremiah says Patrick will get 6 rings. Oh my God. You think he stops with 6? 6. You know that number 6? 6? Now let me ask you a question, dude. Well, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is going to be a chief for a while though, right? It was a 10-year contract, but when did he get that 10-year contract? He got that 10-year contract on what his 3rd season or something like that? Because I also got to look at that too. Like, do you think Patrick Mahomes will get a ring with another team though? You know what I'm saying? Like, Patrick Mahomes gets a ring with another team. You don't want to see Aaron Rodgers go out like that. Honestly, I don't think it'll be a bad thing if he goes out like that, though. To be honest with you, I don't think it'll be a bad thing if he goes out like that. It'll be interesting if he goes out like that. Cactus says, "Be fired." The main dude that is playing the main character, the Marlon Wayans in the movie Him, just turned 27 back in July. Wait. In the movie, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. It's funny that you say that. The Marlon Wayans in the movie Him just turned 27 back in July. So with that being said, what do you think about that, Thomas? What do you think about that? I know we were talking about. What do you think about that 27 thing? The Bills lose Super Bowl either this year or next year. I think next year. Yeah, I mean, they got The Bills, I don't see them winning no ring. I don't see them hosting no trophy. I think if Josh Allen was to win, he'll be with another team. That's just my honest opinion. That's just me. I know a lot of people say, you're bugging out, but I don't know. I can't see the Bills upstate host win. I don't know. Unless NFL has something special for Buffalo, bro. Unless they have something special for Buffalo, I don't know if I can see that. I don't know. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I don't know if I can see that. Okay, I see what you guys are saying. All right. So now, you know what we're gonna do? Let's get into the I see what you guys are saying. The Chargers got a higher chance of winning the Super Bowl. We're gonna have to get into this whole. Let's get into it right now. I'm here, y'all. I'm about to get it ready. So we're gonna look at this. Right here, Greg scripting the fix. Shout out to all of y'all. We're gonna get into the hymn. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get into the whole hymn thing. Oh, I'm sorry, my fault. So now, let's get into it right now. Y'all ready?
Do I look at you or the camera?
You'll just look right at me. You'll just ignore the camera.
Okay.
There are a lot of people saying you could be the next great quarterback. I can already see it now. Cam running down the tunnel, the crowd chanting his name.
I hear you've been invited to train with legend Isaiah White himself. Care to elaborate?
I want to be the GOAT.
Cameron King. Great meeting you. I'm a fan.
That's crazy. I damn near worshiped you growing up.
Who are you?
I'm him.
Who are you?
I'm him. My time.
Let's play a little catch.
We going to the league!
You want to play at your highest level? You want to be a legend? Let me tell you something. This ain't a game. Who are they? Just gonna toss the ball around a little. You wanna hit this? You can't handle it. I understand. Oh, too slow.
Wait, what are we doing?
That man's smile about to be on the floor. This is how you do your teammate?
What is this?
Eagle looks, enemies, In this game, violence is rewarded. So learn to enjoy it. Get your shit together! Activate my hit.
Cam, are you okay?
I think something's off.
Do you want to know what you're getting yourself into?
Now we playing some football!
Don't have to do this.
Activate my hit.
I've never been more certain of anything in my life.
And how bad does Cameron Cade want it? I ain't a killer, but don't push it.
I'm not just gonna give it to you. You got to take it.
I ain't a killer, but don't push it.
What if I say no?
Think of it as a gift from the God. Killer, but don't push it. So what are you willing to sacrifice?
Does that not look like Patrick Mahomes, people? Does that not look like Patrick Mahomes? All the red. Okay, we all know when it comes to sacrificing. We all know when it comes to the devil. When it comes to all that shit. It's red, right? Patrick Mahomes plays for the Chiefs, so he's gonna be surrounded by red. What? Could somebody really listen, people? Why did they cast that man right there? All jokes aside, why did they cast that man right there? Repeat says, that looks stupid as hell. Why did they He doesn't look like Patrick Mahomes, people. I'm serious. I'm asking you guys, why did they cast that man right there? Look like Patrick Mahomes all the way, right? It didn't even to the down to the when he was a little kid, right? The person that they had him as a little kid.
I'm him.
Who are you?
I'm him. Montage.
Patrick Mahomes. Hold on. That don't look. Look at that little kid right there. That's Patrick Mahomes, people. That's that's Patrick Mahomes. This movie's based on Patrick Mahomes. They didn't ironically do this. I mean, no. I find it ironic that happened. This was done purposely. Look at that kid right there. Even that's Patrick Mahomes right there. Right? And not all light-skinned men have light eyes. This guy looks like Patrick Mahomes. This is Patrick Mahomes all the way, people. This is what it's about. Now, I think this is going to be a bad year for Patrick Mahomes. And you know, so crazy. The movie comes out September 19th, right? Usually movies come out on a Friday, right? So you just understand where I'm coming from, people. The movie comes out on a Friday, right? Really on a Thursday night. For the for a good amount of years, movies has been coming out on a Thursday night, which I actually like that the industry does that though. So you can catch a movie after work or whatever it is, or if you're off, you can catch it on a Thursday night if you want to, right? Not a Wednesday. Now you're probably saying, well, why didn't you mention Wednesday? I mean, why are you mentioning Wednesday? Can somebody please tell me when is Patrick Mahomes' birthday? In the chat, you guys can write it. Don't worry, I know you guys got to look it up. In the chat, when is Patrick Mahomes' birthday? I just want somebody to write in the chat. Patrick Mahomes' birthday actually falls on a day where movies don't come out. That's the reason why. But then the closest time to his birthday is what? September 17th. Shout out to Cactus on that one. Patrick Mahomes' birthday is September 17th, the same week that this movie happens to drop. How come this movie couldn't drop the same week as NFL Week 1 instead? Right? Because it's a football movie, right? What better way? Now, I don't want to hear, well, you got this Thursday night football, which is always going to be Thursday night football, on September 18th, when you can actually see the movie instead of the 19th. It's still going to be Thursday night football, right? So don't even go there. Right? Friday, there's a football game, but that's this week, right? Coming up. How come this movie couldn't drop the same day? How come it couldn't drop? What was September 7th, 8th, or something like that? The day that the Chiefs have to play the Chargers. How come it couldn't drop that day? Why is it dropping the same day Patrick Mahomes as Patrick Mahomes' birthday?
Are you fucking serious?
Birthday week. I'm sorry, birthday week. And yeah, somebody that said it. September. My man, Reserve Intelligence in the building. Reserved Intelligence, my guy right here. Check out what he says too. And I forgot to bring this one up too. Yes, because I noticed this as well. One day after Mahomes turns 30 on his 30th birthday, Patrick Mahomes turns 30. Anybody that been rocking with me here in Rig Scripted and Fixed, what number do we always talk about? There's two numbers that we actually always talk about. What is it? The 6 and the 3. That good old 3-0. So he happens to be turning 30 this year, right? He happens to be turning 30 this year, born in 1995. We're in 2005. He turns 30. There's a movie that basically depicts him. Look, the guy looks just like him. The movie's dropping the same freaking week as his birthday. You can't tell me this movie doesn't have anything to do with Patrick Mahomes, because it does 1000%. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Not come on, guys. Are we playing stupid here? Are we playing stupid here? This is a Patrick Mahomes movie, 1000% right here. Right now, of course, they gotta add the all the extra shit. You know, the a goat, devil blood and killing, and you know, it's a movie. They have to add it. But what do we always talk about sacrificing and shit like that here on Rig Scripted and Fixed. We always talk about that. I don't want nobody calling me no conspiracy theorist. You can't call me no conspiracy theorist. Everything that we talk about before we even seen the trailer of this movie is right there in front of you. It's right. You want to know? You want to know what's so funny too? Ironically, y'all remember? It's on my YouTube. Hold on. Y'all remember? Y'all remember? I posted this. I posted this a year ago, right? And if for those that don't know, hold on, let me show you. For those that don't know, I'm this right here. I posted this and I said, you guys will see a movie coming out very soon. That's what I said. I said it on the live, right? I said it on the live year ago, and then I have posted this. I'm gonna show you guys. I hope you guys remember this. You should remember this. Hold on. Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it straight for you. Right? On him. Right? Boom. 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 Y'all remember? And no, this is on my channel, by the way. I posted this, and I remember in the live what I said was, very soon you're gonna see a movie. Y'all remember this? This is on my page. Now y'all probably say, "Oh my God, well, how did you post this? What did you post? Why did you post this for?" Here you go. Hold on. Y'all remember this? For those that rock with me, y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? It's on my page. I posted this. And what did I say? I said, you're going to see a movie coming very soon. Before any trailer, anything happened.
I own your soul. I own everything. Your family. Your money, the house, your cars. I gave it to you. I gave everything. I can take it away. I own you. What you actually do about it? Nothing.
I did that. I did that. I did that. I did that. And that was based on football. It was based on football. It was based on Rig Scripted and Fixed about everything that we talk about. Right? I posted that way before way before any him trailer, anything. Those that rock with me, it's on my page still. I posted that. See the devil, right? That whole devil with the big ears thing. Now watch the trailer of him. It's not about no copying, anybody copying. No, I'm just saying, like, Y'all gotta pay attention to the things I say and when I say it. I give little clues about what's about to happen in the near future when it comes to sports, right? And that's still coming out. That's still coming out. That's my short film that's coming out. But when I did that trailer, it was to let you guys know there's going to be something bigger than me coming out. Now we got the movie Him. I know a lot of people's like, what the hell was that about too? Look what Mike Lynn said. He said, I remember that. I was weirded out by that. I know there was a couple of people that say, yo, B, what the F? What are you posting that for? What's that about? Trying to give y'all clues here, man. Rig, scripted, and fit. Let me tell you something. Anybody that's not in the chats talking, that's watching, this is not no page where you're just going to hear a bunch of fluffer or a bunch of bullshit. You're going to hear some real shit. You may not understand it now, but in a couple of days or a couple of weeks or even a couple of months or even maybe a year, you will connect the dots on what I was saying and why I was saying what I was saying. I do not just talk out of my ass for no reason. There's a reason why I say every single thing that I say. Just because you don't hear it on TV doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. It doesn't mean that the dudes and the guys here in the chat don't know what they're talking about. Let me tell you something. If you want to get the real on what's going on in sports, this is the place to be. I kid you not. That movie Him is a Patrick Mahomes movie. Of course, they can't officially say that because then it'll make people like us sound right about everything we say when it comes to the whole sacrificing, when it comes to the whole rigging, the whole scripting, the whole fixing, the whole number 3, the whole number 6, the whole this team has to lose and this person has to have a fake injury and this the money line and you know I'm trying to tell you guys, right? Now, could Patrick Mahomes end up having a great year this year instead of a bad year? Probably so. But I'm going to call it and say he's going to have a bad year. I do see an injury happen or maybe some type of a bad year because once again, like I used to argue with some of these guys, when does the Chiefs fall? Are you guys going to say this every single year about Patrick Mahomes? He's always going to have a great year every single season. He's not going to have a great year every single season. It's impossible. It didn't happen with Tom Brady. It didn't happen. Who else you guys call great besides Tom Brady? It didn't happen to Joe Montana. Next. Give me another one. There's people that love Peyton Manning. It ain't happened with Peyton Manning. Next. Come on. So who else? So then all of a sudden it's just going to happen for Patrick Mahomes? But like that? Shit, the NFL even say, yo, listen, Patrick Mahomes, we gave you all this success, right? We know your daddy black. We gave you this success, but we got to get rid of him. We got to get rid of him. Oh, then all of a sudden you always notice Patrick Mahomes' father's always getting arrested. He's the man, right? Patrick Mahomes' father's the man. Patrick Mahomes' name came from him, right? Or am I bugging, right? So that's the actual man. But NFL's like, nah. You know how professional sports are. They don't like the black daddies. I'm not making this a race thing, but no, we don't like the black daddies. No. It's either us or your daddy. And I'm not trying to be funny. Think about it. Tell me what great black athlete had their father all the way to the end that's known as one of the GOATs. Now, it could be argued. Oh, that's nice. Somebody just sent me something about the Ravens. All right, I'll check that out after the show. Yeah. Now think any black athlete that was known as the GOAT, not a great player, but known as the GOAT. Or you guys have your opinion, right? How many of them actually got to have their father or their father was in their life? I'm talking about black GOATs. all the way to the end of time. And not just football. What you gonna say? Basketball. What guy is known as the GOAT in basketball? Who's known as the GOAT? What player is known as the GOAT in basketball? Who? My man Ishmael Reeves in the goddamn building. What's up, my guy? Ishmael. Right? Who's known as the GOAT? Michael Jordan, right? Ironically, what happened to Michael Jordan's father? All respect. All respect. All respect. All respect. What happened with Michael Jordan's father? Right? I just want to know what happened. Got rid of him. They got rid of him, right? LeBron James, arguably the GOAT. Some people say yeah, some people no. It's all about y'all. It's all about your preference. It's all about your preference. All about your preference. But Michael Jordan, arguably known as a GOAT. I'm sorry, LeBron James. Father wasn't there. So you had Michael Jordan. At some point, that shit had to stop. Right after that their first time they repeated, get him out of here. LeBron James. His father's not even allowed to be here. Right? What's another black GOAT? Straight black GOAT. Right? When I say straight black GOAT, right? Because Patrick Mahomes is half, but the father's the one that's black. The mother's white. Right? Notice how Russell Wilson, how many rings he got? He only got one, right? So, but as far as a black, right? You want to call him black, right? Patrick Mahomes, we're going to give you this success. Your father can't be there at some point. It's going to have to stop. You're going to have to get DWIs, DUIs. He can't be on these fields no more. We can't have him here like that no more. Get rid of him. We're giving you all these Super Bowls. We your daddy.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying, right? Now, Repeat says, what about Tim Duncan? I'm glad you said that. Here's the thing. He's not known as the GOAT. There's no, when you have GOAT, like if all of us have a GOAT discussion right now, Repeat, we're not talking about Tim Duncan. Now, we can have the discussion of who's the best power forward ever. But notice how I said that. Who's the best power forward ever? But not who's the greatest of all time. When you say the greatest of all time, right, you're thinking about Michael Jordan. There's people that still think about LeBron James. Whatever you guys think, that's we're not even going to get into that. I don't want to get into that conversation. It's opinionated, right? But he's still in that talk. It just is what it is. He's still in that talk. We got to respect it. He's in that talk. Them two fathers is not here. That's what I'm trying to say. Them two fathers is not here. You gotta understand how that goes. Like that whole sacrifice. Listen, if they're gonna give you fame, they get to dictate who can be around you, who can't be around you. And when I say they, I'm talking about the powers that be, the ones that's giving you those paychecks. It just is what it is. A lot of people say, "Oh, the father there." Well, Ken Griffey Jr. Yeah, but Ken Griffey Jr. is not known as a GOAT. That's what I'm saying. Right? We got to look at things like that, man. We have to look at things like that. Tiger Woods lost his father back in 2006. Ironically, you see what I'm saying? There's people that want to call Tiger Woods black, right? These guys can't be GOATs with their father. They can't be GOATs with their father, bro. I'm not trying to be funny. They can't be GOATs with their father. Patrick Mahomes would not be able to have GOAT status with his. They're gonna have to get rid of his father. And I'm not talking about end his life. I'm talking about get him out of the picture. Why do you think it's when you think about Patrick Mahomes' father? What do you think about mugshots? I think that's unfair, right? It's not right. But that's all you see is mugshots, getting in trouble. You guys see what I'm saying, right? If they're gonna give you fame, I'm sorry. If these leagues is gonna give you fame, it's under their control. They are daddy. They are the one giving you the paychecks.
Are you fucking serious?
I like what Mike Lynch said. He says Steph Curry. Once again, though, Mike, when we have GOAT talk, that's what I'm saying. Like, just think about what I'm saying. GOAT talk. Steph Curry is not in that GOAT category. One of the best point guards of all time, yes, they'll have him in that category. But when we say GOAT, it's usually just really Michael Jordan, to be honest with you, that people say, right? And then now it's creeping up to LeBron James. Once again, that's opinionated. It's opinionated. But you see what I'm saying, right? He wasn't allowed to have him there. LeBron's not allowed to have him here. Like I remember the LeBron James run before he made it to the NBA. Steph Curry didn't have that run. You ain't have your daddy with that type of run. Michael Jordan, once you hit that third ring, clip it. That GOAT status, NBA is going to saying we're daddy. It just is what it is. I don't care if no one likes what I'm saying, but it's the truth. At some point, you guys got to stop. Just because TV's telling you one thing doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that's what it is. They get to control the narrative. You do know leagues have deals with ESPN contracts. So just because they're giving it, or all these journalists that have been doing it for 30, 40 years, just because they say it don't mean it's true. They have a narrative that they have to go by. Some of them can't even really get to say what they really want to say. That's why it's hard for me to listen to them. Mike says Kobe when he was alive. They say they put Kobe in the GOAT talk, but guess what? Kobe and his father had a fallout. You see what I'm saying, right? Come on, y'all can give me more names. I've been studying this for years. Think about all the ones that's in the GOAT status, black men that's in the GOAT status that have their father right next to them that's in a GOAT conversation. Kobe and his parents fell out. They been fell out. So you ain't see Kobe with his father on all that success. I'm talking about all his success. His father wasn't standing there right next to him to the very end. Nope. Michael Jordan, his father wasn't there to the very end. Look what's going on with Patrick Mahomes. He has a hard time with it because his father ends up in jail and things like that. And, you know, all this success, your father could be there, then he's not. Then he's there, then he's not. Then he's there, then he's not. Notice it's not consistent with him either. LeBron James, father's not there to the end. Once you make these set, and all of this, what does all of this tie into, B-Fire? It ties into everything we talking about with Patrick Mahomes and also the movie. It's a lot you're gonna have to go by. You know what? I want to know what happens to his father, the boy's father in the movie. I wonder what happens to it because I'm going to go see that movie. I'm going to go see that movie that day come out. I'm going to go see it. I wonder what happens to the father in the movie. I'm curious to know what happens to the father because we're going to do a follow-up on this movie after it comes out. I'm going to be talking about it. We're going to do a review. I'm going to do an exclusive review on that shit. I want to know what actually happens to the father in the movie, the little boy's father. Repeat says, hey B, maybe this is why Barry Sanders walked away. That could be a thing too. He already knew what it was with him, right? He was one of the greats of all time, one of the greats in his position of all time, right? I can't do this. I'm not going to be able to win, especially with the team I'm on and things like that. I don't want to deal with this. This is what Patrick Mahomes has gotten himself into. I believe he gets hurt. He has a rest. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to have a rest year where he can rest, a whole full year. It's going to have to happen soon. It's always going to happen to the greats at some point. Basketball and football is different. Football is a physical sport. Yeah, you could take a year off. Shit, they did it. And it's not even a black-white thing. No, it's gonna happen. Tom Brady it happened. Aaron Rodgers, he got to have a year off, and these are with fake injuries. Patrick Mahomes, you don't think he's gonna have a year off? He's gonna have a year off soon, people. I'm telling y'all. I'm calling it this season. Maybe next season, worst comes worse, but it's gonna have to happen right away. I think it's gonna be this season. Shit, even if he's going for half of a season, the Chiefs is gonna have some type of a struggle. This guy's bugging. He don't know what he's talking about, but when it happens, man, I don't want to hear nothing. When it happens, I don't want to hear nothing. I think this season he falls. You're gonna have to have one, right? So I mean, so let's see what else, right? September 17th, 1995. That's what made me laugh. What else we got? I'm not done yet. I'm about to look at some. See what you guys think about this.
For playing Tyrone C. Love in Requiem for a Dream and Shorty Meek, quarterback of a dynasty team. Cam. All right, so the plot of the movie revolves.
Let's listen to this. Let's listen to this. Y'all ready? Come on. Listen to this. Let's listen to this. Some nice shit. Right now. Here we go.
All right, so the plot of the movie revolves around a promising young and up-and-coming football player named Cameron Cade, played by Tyreek Withers, who has devoted his entire life and identity to football. Cam, as he's lovingly called by the people who know him, is pitted to be the next quarterback and wants to be the GOAT, the greatest of all time. He's been invited to train by the legendary Isaiah White, the aging quarterback of a dynasty team, played by Marlon Wayans. Cameron happens to be Isaiah's biggest fan, who almost near worshipped him growing up. He has a photo of Isaiah in his room and said, "I'm him," whenever his dad asked, "Who are you?" suggesting that his dad was shaping him to be like him, aka Isaiah White. So, training with his childhood hero is a dream come true for Cameron. The almost retired legend asks Cameron if he wants to play at his highest level.
Hold on, y'all. Wasn't this like Tom Brady? Right? Wasn't this like Tom Brady? Right? I'm not gonna say Patrick Mahomes had pictures of Tom Brady on the wall or anything like that, right? But didn't he look up to Tom Brady? Right? He said that. He said that in interviews. He said that plenty of times, y'all. He looked up to Tom Brady. Right? I mean, this don't sound like, they of course they got to switch the, maybe Marlon Wayans black or whatever. And I find it ironic because let's just keep it 100. Professional football, they do not let black quarterbacks get that many Super Bowls now. That's the part that was funny.
Are you fucking serious?
But it's a movie, right? But you guys see what I'm saying? Yeah, you guys don't find that funny, but let's keep going.
And if he wants to be a legend just like him and takes his protege to an isolated camp or compound. Once, inside the training compound, Isaiah tells him that this ain't just a game, as he takes him on a blood-chilling and gruesome training regime where shedding blood and violence is rewarded and is just a part of the game. Cam undertakes the blood-soaked journey with the hopes that all the blood loss and agonizing pain will lead to the twisted inner sanctum of fame, desire, money, and power, and embarks on the pursuit of excellence at all costs. Despite the gory, twisted, and painful training sessions filled with all sorts of occult rituals, Cam suggests he's never been more certain about anything else in his life, because for him, this training is an opportunity to be the GOAT, and it's not just about sports success. The desire to be the GOAT consumes him, and his complete sense of self soon gets tied to the athletic achievement. Cam becomes so obsessed with achieving athletic greatness that he's willing to risk it all because he's been told the mantra greatness demands sacrifice by his childhood hero. The premise of the film is true for most real-world athletes who often struggle with identity when their careers are threatened, albeit without the blood-soaked rituals. There have been many instances where athletes struggle with an identity crisis when their sporting career comes to an end, or when they lose out on a place in a team. One relevant example is former football quarterback Johnny Manziel, who tried to end his life after he was released by the Cleveland Browns in 2016. In the trailer, we see glimpses of Cam's head injury.
I'm just looking. I'm just trying to. Okay, go ahead.
And staples on his skull prior to Isaiah's training invitation. Supposedly, Cam was brutally attacked by a fan on the eve of the fictional NFL Combine, which caused a potentially career-ending brain trauma and a probable chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. This fan attack could be the turning point in Cam's life, as it didn't just cause physical damage.
Look at that picture right there. Look at that, y'all. That don't look like Patrick Mahomes right there. That don't look like Patrick Mahomes. Look at it. Look at that. Read. I like what Cactus said right here. He says, every time I see Marlon Wayans, I can't help but think of Brady grooming Mahomes for Mahomes. Got his success. That's what it seems. That's what this whole thing seems like, bro. They're just using different characters, different looks, and all that, all that good shit. Bro, this is a Patrick Mahomes goddamn movie, y'all. It can represent not just him. It can represent other professional athletes, of course, others that were greats, in other sports, right? But this is a football movie, so we're gonna look at what football player this resembles, right? That's what we're gonna look at. This is Patrick Mahomes, right here. This is Patrick Mahomes. This is this is hilarious, bro. Look, like anyone that's looking at their phone or their computer right now, look at that real good. If you didn't know that this was a movie or anything, let's say you just did a quick glance, what athlete are you going to say this is? You're going to say this is Patrick Mahomes right here. This is Patrick Mahomes right here. Shout out my man, Money Man. Wow, he's in that goddamn building. And yeah, he said it too. Mahomes scripted injury, bro. I just feel it. He just got here. Yeah, we were talking. Yeah, Money Man. Why after this is over, you're gonna have to watch. You're gonna have to watch that whole playback. We spoke about some interesting shit. I gave you a shot on that. How you had noticed it as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been going with this. The whole Mahomes shit's injury gonna happen. And then I told him I gave you your shout out on like when you said it to him. Like, oh shit, somebody else said it. You're gonna have to watch this playback after this is over too. From the beginning. But look at this, y'all. Now let's get back into it.
But destroyed all his future hopes and his lifelong dream of becoming the GOAT.
I hear you've been invited to train with legend Isaiah White himself. Care to elaborate?
I want to be the GOAT.
That is when Isaiah White, the legendary 8-time quarterback champion and cultural megastar, invites Cam to train under him. The invitation initially appears to be divine intervention for Cam, who believes Isaiah's mentorship.
I'm sorry, not to pause it again. You notice how it's 8. He got 8 rings. Marlon Wayans had won 8. Well, they can't. I don't know if they don't use Super Bowl. Well, I haven't heard Super Bowl. 8-time champion, right? Once again, people, what did I say? Maybe an hour ago into the show. Pay attention to 8. If anybody's been rocking with me, I said this since 2022. 2022, we are in 2025. Please pay attention to the number 8. Please pay attention to the number 8. I don't know how many times I got to get it through your heads. Please pay attention to the number 8. The number 8 plays a huge factor in football. Pay attention to the number 8. Matter of fact, let's pay attention to the number 8 again this year too. How we have our numbers we pay attention to. Please pay attention to the number 8. I'm never getting off of it. I will always say it. Pay attention to the number 8. I'm sorry about that. Pay attention to it. Let's get into it.
would offer him everything he's lost due to the brutal fan attack in the past. The invitation comes at a time when Cam was going through an identity crisis due to the attack that rendered him unsure of his future, leading him to trust his false savior, Isaiah, blindly and completely, even if it meant becoming a part of a satanic cult. Cam, and we, soon learn that Isaiah is not just a celebrated football legend, but secretly serves as a cult leader operating a cult-like compound with ritualistic elements, which include masked demon mascots, blood rituals, bags containing blood, the severed heads of what appear to be dead athletes hung up on walls, and a ritualistic ice bed with a red laser. Not to mention the many satanic symbols on display, including the large pentagram podium in the football field, makes the entire compound like a satanic temple in the middle of nowhere. Also, Isaiah's character as a celebrated football star who's secretly an obsessed cult leader is comparable to real-world cult leaders.
You see this shot right here? Who does this remind you of? Who does this remind you of, people? Doesn't this remind you of Patrick Mahomes' wife? Not saying that that's the girl in the movie, right? That's not saying that's his wife in the movie, but notice how they had to have that shot, right? Look at that shot right there, right? That's not his love interest in the movie, from what I know, right? But doesn't that remind you of Patrick Mahomes' wife? Well, let's get back into it.
Who use isolation and dependency to control their victims. Isaiah's isolated facility mirrors real-world cult compounds. The eerie and dark atmosphere, the dimly lit rooms and corridors, the shape of the whole compound, and the isolation and remoteness are all symbolic of cult compounds from real life, which are far removed from society and function under a controlled environment with limited to no contact with the outside world. The cult compound's eerie and depressing elements creates a mysterious, almost paranormal aura, which in turn creates a sort of psychological dependency in its inhabitants or cult members, especially among the newly initiated ones. Meanwhile, Isaiah, apart from being the satanic cult leader, symbolizes the society, especially the fans and their toxic relationship with athletic achievement. He represents the society that is so obsessed with athletic greatness that it demands the athletes to shed sweat, blood, take painful blows, and make many big and small sacrifices in order to achieve their approval and their following. Isaiah represents the win at all costs mentality of the society and the fans, but only taken to its logical extreme. This very mentality of what are you ready to do? How bad do you want it? And we're not going to give it to you. You're going to have to earn it from us, is what leads most athletes to mental trauma, depression, suicidal thoughts, and sometimes even PTSD. What we view as normal societal expectations and demands from our sports persons can sometimes lead them to trauma and abuse. That is why it's not uncommon for athletes to do steroids or take performance-enhancing drugs in order to prove their greatness.
What do you guys think so far? For the ones that's watching, even for the ones that's not in the chat, you're not convinced? Usually movies like this, you would need permission to make something like this. Shout out to my man Mike in the building. What do you guys think? You think movies like this is just made up and it's not happening for real, for real, for real? I really need y'all to pay attention to this, man. For those that's just tuning in, this is the Patrick Mahomes movie. This is the Patrick Mahomes movie. Once again, this movie, I'm going to say it, this movie comes out September 19th / September 18th because the movie can come out on a Thursday night, right? Patrick Mahomes, if they could have, it would have dropped on Mahomes' birthday. Mahomes' birthday is September 17th. It happens to be on a Wednesday. Usually movies don't come out like that. You know, you have private screenings and shit like that, but like release to the whole public, it's usually a Thursday night and the whole Friday. Patrick Mahomes' birthday happens to come out. I mean, happens September 17th, right? I find it ironic they want to drop the movie around the same time. I'm okay. Basically, I think something's going to happen to Patrick Mahomes this year. I'm not talking about death. No, I'm not talking about none of that shit. But I'm talking about an injury. I think Patrick Mahomes gets injured this year, people. Even if he's not injured for the whole season, he takes somewhat of a step back, just a little bit, a little something. He falls back and takes a little step back, just a little something. Right? I'm just saying. Let's get back into it.
Or to keep us, their fans and supporters, happy and content. Also, the sports culture of today has grown so competitive that it normalizes abuse and frames it as necessary for greatness. And I guess the movie is a fictitious and rather extreme attempt at showcasing this particular aspect of the sports world. Besides, the disturbing imagery of the ritualistic elements shown in the fragmented shots in the trailer, such as the blood-soaked training, where the players are brutally hit on the face with footballs thrown at super high speeds from ball-passing machines, to the extent their faces start oozing blood, the ritualistic ceremonies like ice baths, and ritualistic blood transfusions, and hyper-motivational mantras like greatness demands sacrifice, all but transform athletic training into somewhat like act of extreme religious devotion, or rather, a kind of satanic worship. Speaking of blood transfusion, the trailer hints at Isaiah's blood as something like a reward that Cameron should vie for, a sort of elixir that might help him achieve athletic greatness. And Isaiah has been tempting Cameron to earn it. Cameron represents the heartbroken fanboy who always wanted to become a GOAT, but couldn't do so because of a mishap that potentially stalled his trajectory. As mentioned in the beginning, Cam worshipped Isaiah as his hero growing up, and he wanted to be just like him when he grew up. When Isaiah invites Cam for the training, the fanboy in Cam cannot believe his luck. For him, it almost seems like a second reckoning or a second shot at making his dream of being the GOAT come true. This psychology is in almost all of us, and especially among those of us who are into hero worship. When someone we greatly admire from childhood shows up and asks us to do something, even if it feels a bit off-putting, chances are we might not think of the consequences and just do it because why not? It's our idol, our hero who's saying that. This makes most people vulnerable to manipulation.
Look at that shot right there. Look at that shot. Look at that shot right there. Can somebody please tell me who that looks like? I'm not trying to be funny, but who does this look like, people? Who is this? Hold on, I got it. Wait. Who is this? Who is that? I'm gonna keep it there. Who is that? For the ones that's not in the chat, that's watching, who is this? What player is this? Look at that. Look at that. Mike says, I don't think no movie made up, because how you just come up with that out of nowhere? This is what I'm saying. Shout out to Mike on that one. My man Noah in the goddamn building. What up, Noah? Noah says, I'm definitely watching these theaters. Haven't been to one. Haven't been to the theater in the years. Haven't been to the theaters in a year. You gotta go watch this one, Noah. Make sure you go and watch it. I'm telling you. Money says, Roddy Piper said their life was a documentary, right? That's what you meant to say. Their life, right? I think that's what you meant to say. Ishmael says he probably misses 8 games. Wow. Patrick Mahomes misses 8 games. That's half of the season. Shout out to you on that one. Does Patrick Mahomes, is this the year he gets injured for the whole season, or does he miss 8 games? 8 games, right? 8 games, right? Does Patrick Mahomes miss 8 games this season, right? Because we're going to have to shout out Ishmael if that happens, right? Because I do believe this is his injury year. So how many games does he miss, right? I couldn't call how many games. Ishmael says he misses 8 games. Because if you do look at the picture with Marlon Wayans, if you go into him, the picture, he has 8 rings on his finger, 4 on one and 4 on the other, right? The 4-time champion, right? Does Patrick Mahomes miss 8 games this season, or does he miss the whole season? Right? Because it's crazy. You know, on my thumbnail, you know, I do have the number 8 on the thumbnail, right? So I'm telling you, I pay attention to that number 8, people. If anything happens, I just want us to come back and review this whole live. We're gonna have to review this whole live if something happens, because you know something going to happen, y'all. It's going to happen. Money says that thing he was laying on had a triangle, square, and a circle all in one. If you know anything about Freemason, they use that symbol. Absolutely. 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 The whole symbolism, people, that whole thing with symbolism, that whole thing with what they call that, the number 6, the whole 33, 3, all that shit. Yes. These things just don't have, and the thing is, we've been talking about this for a long time. So once everybody starts talking about this whole stuff after, it's gonna be too late. They hopped on the train too late. We've been knowing this type of stuff. You can't say we bugging because it's right here in front of our face. Repeat says, remember, nobody knew what Brady was drinking on the sideline every game. Oh shit, that'd be crazy if it was blood, right? I'm just saying. Noah says a young Reggie Miller. Now, I mean, yeah, you can say that, but we know who that looked like. We know who that looked like. That man Brady was putting Mahomes through hell, and that's what it seems like it was. That's what the movie's about. That's exactly what it seems like it's about. This shit is crazy, right? Let's get back into it.
Manipulation. The concept of hero worship is very prevalent in sports, and athletes especially struggle with this due to the hierarchical nature of sports, and that's exactly what happens with Cam when Isaiah manipulates him into madness. Also, a lot of times in sports and in other settings too, the mentor-student relationships can become quite abusive when there are extreme power differentials. In other words, when the mentor is extremely powerful and dominant, and the student is subservient. These types of situations happen in the real world, especially in sports. There have been a lot of sports scandals in the past that involve acts of sexual misconduct by coaches against their clients or students. The coaches or instructors often use their power and influence, and sometimes their fame, and target vulnerable subjects and manipulate them into giving in to their demands. Cameron's traumatic fan attack in the past that shattered his dreams of becoming the greatest quarterback of all time, and his descent into oblivion, also suggests how vulnerable someone who has built their entire identity around one thing can be. That is to say, when something bad happens to that one thing, it can threaten your very sense of existence. The story serves as a lesson that one should not build their identity over just one thing and be open to exploring other options. Another aspect that the film explores is the toxic masculinity through the sport culture, or more precisely, through the American football culture.
Hold on.
Is the toxic masculinity.
Y'all see that?
Film explores is the toxic masculinity.
Who that look like? Who that look like? Who that look like? What quarterback does that look like, y'all? What quarterback does that look like? Bro, that's Patrick Mahomes, man. Stop playing. That's Patrick Mahomes.
Are you fucking serious?
Come on now. Come on now. Let me tell y'all something. That's Patrick Mahomes. I don't care what nobody says. That's your man, Patrick. Who do you think this movie represents? Now, don't get it twisted. It's not going to be. They have to throw you off a little bit. This is Patrick Mahomes, man. And not to mention, they keep studying your man, the quarterback from Nebraska. You know they going hard on him, right? The Patrick Mahomes lookalike, right? You notice that, right? They going real hard on him for some reason. Not saying that. I gotta see what goes on with him this season, right? But I'm telling you, this season something's not going to be right about the Kansas City Chiefs, yo. I promise y'all, this season is not something does not seem right about the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm going to be on their ass. Something. Let's get back into it. They only got like 3 minutes left for this trailer. I mean, for this whole video.
Through the sport culture, or more precisely, through the American football culture. Unfortunately, even today, most sports are seen as a man's game, and men do not fear pain and violence. In the trailer, Isaiah's instruction, "You have to learn to enjoy violence," represents a corruption of competitive spirit into something darker. His tormenting mistreatment of the trainees is another nod to the toxic masculinity that's pretty much relevant in most mainstream competitive sports. The trailer also hints at America's GOAT obsession, especially its obsession with athletic greatness that creates the right conditions for the kind of exploitation that Isaiah represents. The quest to become a GOAT can lead people to take big risks and put their lives and the lives of others in jeopardy. Parallels can also be drawn between the film's fictitious society and its obsession with certain celebrity characters, and the modern society and its obsession with real-world social media influencers and celebrities. Isaiah's popularity and fan following in the film are representative of the real-world celebrity worship, and Julia Fox's role as his influencer wife showcases how social media amplifies society's obsession with celebrities. The film's trailer also asks the central question, what would you sacrifice to become the GOAT? This question represents the broader societal questions about success, achievement, and what we're willing to give up for greatness. Are we willing to give up on our families? Or are we willing to risk it all just for that one shot at greatness, which may or may not remain forever? Oh, and by the way, did you know the movie was originally going to be called GOAT? That should explain why we use the word repeatedly.
I want to be the GOAT. Cameron King.
Marvelous verdict. Finally, it's time for our marvelous verdict. The trailer of him, which in the first minute and a half reminded us of the 1990s.
All right, but anyway, you guys get the point. Now, GOAT. They talk about GOAT a lot, right? So yeah, we can finish it right there. Patrick Mahomes. This is a Patrick Mahomes movie, right? Ironically, everything that we talk about, right, is happening in the movie. I've been talking about this for y'all know this is not nothing new. When I talk about the number 3, the number 6, when I put numbers together, when I talk about sacrificing and all that stuff, there's things you have to do. You have to be willing to do if you want to be a professional athlete. You have to. Anyone that's in the sports, you know how this goes. There's things that you have to do. Your family, are you willing to give up or sacrifice your family? Are you willing to sacrifice your integrity? All that type of shit just to have money and fame. Some people just don't. I can't do that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't have no goddamn big ego, but I just certain things is I just won't do. If I have to be a regular person, I'm gonna be a regular person. Just things I don't want to do. Right? I know a lot, but when that money comes calling, there's people that just don't have that mindset. And I don't believe that they make movies like this for no reason. That's what I'm trying to say. These movies is made for a reason, right? That's why I kind of felt good. I'm like, when I first heard about it, I'm like, yeah, it kind of proves me right when a lot of, when it comes to a lot of shit that I say, because this is the shit that goes on. This movie, I don't know the directors. How they come up with some shit like that? It's a lot of shit that we've been calling that I've seen in the trailer already. The type of shit that I be talking about, I see in the trailer. How? So people, we just got to see what's going to happen now. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, what type of season are they going to have? All we got to do is sit back, get your popcorn ready, get that nice popcorn, not the sweet popcorn, get the nice popcorn, have a little salt on it, put some butter on it, right? Now, I'm not promoting the movie, or in a way I am, but I'm not getting paid to promote this movie, but go see the movie. I know I am. I'm very interested to go see this movie. I am going to see this movie when it comes out. I'm going to review it. We're going to do a live when I review it, right? But I really want to see this movie. It's my lane. It's my type of movie. It's something that I can see myself making, right? I like that type of movie. The Sacrifice short film I have has a lot to do with sports betting, and the whole sacrificing and rigging the game. You're not really going to see that in this movie, right? They can't blow it up like that. So I don't know. It just is what it is. So make sure you have your you got to make sure you have your popcorn. You got to make sure you have your popcorn ready when you go see that movie. Make sure you get the good popcorn. But I'm gonna tell you this, please. You see this comment right here, right? You see this comment, this comment right here. It's kind of a stupid comment. Don't ever in your life eat Colonel popcorn. If any kettle popcorn, anybody that eats kettle popcorn, there's the only thing I can say is,
Are you fucking serious?
disgusting. Don't play yourself. Don't do that, people. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's see if he gets hurt in the game, in the movie. Let's see if he gets hurt, repeat, and let's see what happens to his father in the movie. Those are two things I'm interested to see. I am. All athletes in that are in this situation. That's what Mike Glenn says. Yes, yeah, pretty much yes. Because I'm not going to sit there and I say that all the time, and then I want to change it up. So you're actually right. Now the bigger ones, though, because I guess this is about him being one of the greats, right? Or wants to be the great. So it's focused on him actually being the guy. Let's see how many, not Super Bowls, how many championships he does end up with, if they even go that far, which I probably don't think they are. But I like to see what this is about, right? What type of ending are we going to get? I do want to see this movie. I need to see this movie. Money says, it's the fact they made this movie and we've been saying this happens, yet we are conspiracy theorists. Exactly. For anybody watching that's been rocking, you guys know that these are the type of things that we've been speaking about for months and months and months and months and even years. And you're called a conspiracy theorist. How am I a conspiracy theorist when these are the type of things that are being made? These movies are being made. So am I really that crazy, though? Am I really that crazy for the things that I say about sports? Anybody that's in the chat that rocks with me, are they really that crazy? Because I tell people, if you don't want to have an open mind, this channel is not the channel for you. Now, I'm not trying to persuade you to think sports is 1000% rigged. I'm not here to do that. But what I want you to do is when you come here, I want you to sit down and have an open mind and hear what I'm saying. Right? Because it's not what you think it is. Somebody can always ask me, well, then if you feel this way, why do you watch it? For entertainment. How many do you ask the people that watch wrestling? Why do you watch wrestling knowing that it's fake? when you're on your couch or when you're laying on your bed or when you're sitting in that chair and you're sitting there watching a sitcom, you know it's fake. When you're watching a Cosby Show, he wasn't no. Oh, one was a lawyer and one was a doctor. Like it's fake. It's not real. Yet you watch it. Why are you watching it knowing it's not real? Everything we watch on TV is going to be entertainment. So I watch it for entertainment purposes, and I also watch it for business purposes, right? But I know that I can't take a lot of things that they say serious because let's just be for real. They can't say what they really want to say. Right? Post game, after the game is over and they sit on the podium and they talk. Yeah, it was just a great game. Shout out to our opponents. They played really good. They played very well. It was kind of hard for us, but we got through it. Damn well that's not what they really want to say. Because as soon as they get off that podium and they go into the locker room, that team was trash. That team was ass. This person sucks. Blah blah blah. That's what really is it's really being talked about. I'm sorry. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I want this to be the space where we really say what it is. Because the mother them TV channels, right? They can't say what they want to say. It sound good, but they can't say what they want to say. And just because they got the followers and the money and all that, we seem to think that only what they say is the real deal. No. I used to think that way back then too. It's not true. So I just want you guys to have an open mind when you come here. And that's the reason why I'm talking about this movie and relating it to Patrick Mahomes, because this is everything that we've seen in this trailer is things that I've been saying ever since the whole Missouri thing with the Chiefs got on the map. I've been saying this. This is not new. I've been saying this. I've been saying this before last season and the season before. I've been saying that. There's people that just started rocking with me this year or even last year. But if you go and do a little bit of digging, you can tell I've been saying this way before then about Patrick Mahomes. I've been saying this since his whole rise started, though. When did his rise start? In 2018/19. My Twitter, the BFire1 Twitter, not the BFire31, the BFire1 Twitter. I've been saying this about Patrick Mahomes since then, and that was the Twitter that got taken down. I wish I could recover all those tweets. I've been saying this. Everything I've been saying about Patrick Mahomes is not new. Now, new things happen with him year by year. Like 2018, I wasn't talking about him with 3 rings because he didn't have 3 rings at the time. But his rise and all the things that was funny, for those that didn't know me, 2018, 19, 20, I've been saying this. None of this is new. Absolutely none of this is new. That's the reason why I be on the Chiefs' neck. You guys know, once again, the state of Missouri. Who's the one that exposed the whole state of Missouri? Me. I'm the one that exposed that. I'm the one that that let you guys know about and connected all the dots about the whole state of Missouri and the Los Angeles Rams or the St. Louis Rams. Nobody was talking about that. Nobody even realized any of that. I connected those dots, right? But the reason why is because I knew something was suspect about Patrick Mahomes back when I started covering him in the 2018 season, when they was quote unquote calling this mother effer the GOAT before he even won a Super Bowl. He didn't even go to no Super Bowl yet. And they calling him, how many touchdowns he had that season? I don't know. He had a whole bunch of touchdowns. What's that, his MVP season or whatever? And then all of a sudden I said, something's not right. Because it just doesn't happen like that. It just doesn't happen like that. I've been on Patrick Mahomes' neck since then. Since then. This is not nothing new, people. This is 7 years of me saying what I've been saying about him. Now, were there times I rooted and, well, not root, but bet on him? All those Super Bowls that he won, I actually bet on, except for one. I bet against him against the 49ers, right? But the other Super Bowls he won and he appeared in and lost, I faded him. And I bet with him. So I've had success with Patrick Mahomes. I just knew how the game went. It's one time he caught me. And one time he caught me was once again against the 49ers. That's Super Bowl. That's the one that I was wrong about. Any other time when he played in the Super Bowl and I knew what was going to happen, I was right. But other than that, it is what it is. Right? Come on, bro. I'm just letting people know I'm doing this video because this is nothing new when it comes to Patrick Mahomes and me. I've been on the Chiefs' neck for a while, for years. This is 7 years. And it's not going to stop. I know fixed football when I see it. Is Patrick Mahomes going to lose? And is he gonna be injured for 8 games? Is he gonna be injured for the whole season? Is he gonna be injured for 6 games or 8 games or the whole season? I should do a poll on that. I'm not wishing somebody to really get hurt. No, y'all know that, how I feel about that. But I'm the one guy that's gonna call it when it comes to real injuries. I mean, when it comes to fake injuries. I don't like fake injuries. I think most injuries that we do see in professional sports are fake. I do believe so. Most of them are fake. That's the way to take a little vacation. Besides that whole offseason, take a little vacation. There's a lot of bets on you guys. We got to win these bets. Come on now. Travis Kelce, we already know where he's going with Taylor Swift. They are now engaged. I don't see no happy ending of him winning the Super Bowl and then them two getting married on the field. I remember that was a rumor. Remember that? I imagine that does happen though. Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl and then, well, he's not gonna ask her to marry him because they're already engaged. So that we can't have that happen no more, right? But if they, it's not gonna happen, bro. Let me stop. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Now, if they do win this year, kudos to y'all. Kudos to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll stand corrected and I will do a live covering this video on how wrong I was. I really would. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm not saying he's never going to win a Super Bowl again because, like I said, I could see him with 4 and maybe 5. But I think that run, I think it's about to be over. This season, they take a back seat. They take a back seat. I can understand why you guys are heavy. Like, what? I don't know why the Broncos, but the Raiders. Now, I'm not gonna say, oh, because they got Tom Brady as the minority owner. They're gonna do good. But I say, don't sleep on the Chargers. Just pay attention. The AFC West is an interesting division this season. I'll say that one. But the only way it's going to be interesting is if those teams beat the Chiefs at least one game. At least if one of them, 3 of those teams, Raiders, Broncos, Chargers, if they all can beat the Chiefs at least once, then we can have an interesting season. But other than that, the Chiefs is just going to dominate the AFC West. It is what it is. Maybe another team from another division is going to get them. AFC South, North, or East. That's what we just got to pay attention to. I just need you guys to understand what's going on here, right? This is not no hating shit, but Patrick Mahomes is gonna get hurt, bro. Right? I think this movie symbolizes I think he's gonna have to take a back seat. This movie's dropping on his birthday. I don't see success for the Chiefs this year. And I do hope that, what's today, September 3rd. I do hope, 3. Go figure, right? 9 plus 3, 2, right? It was 12. The 3. Don't get me started.
Are you fucking serious?
Let me see what else we got. Yeah. Hold on. Let me go to that. Yeah. That call with the Saints and the Rams was no call. That was it. Yeah, that was the same season when I started to get on Patrick Mahomes' neck. That was that season right there. Because it was supposed to be Rams versus Chiefs to be technical. In a real scenario, that's what was supposed to happen. We ain't get it. Whatever. Right? Noah says that DeMar Hamlin shit woke some fans up. Absolutely, absolutely. Because I had some of you guys, maybe not you guys in the chat here, but I had some guys maybe 2 years ago sit there and say they stopped fucking with NFL. When I say stop, like not stop watching it, but they had a different view on the NFL ever since that DeMar Hamlin thing happened. And remember, the only guy that was standing up was number 33 on the Bills. And, come on now. I was Noah says I was on that gold bandwagon in 2018. Still am to this day. Can't stand Brady. Y'all know me. I show videos of how I was a hardcore Brady fan. Hardcore Brady fan. I was a Brady fan since actually I was a Drew Bledsoe fan. People around my way can say that. They can confirm that. This is before Brady. I was a Patriots fan, even though, you know, I thought the Patriots, well, I don't know how old I was. I think I was 11, 12. And I was rooting for the Patriots to beat Brett Favre and the Packers. I remember that. It didn't happen, but I was a Drew Bledsoe fan. I thought his name was cool, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, then Tom Brady came in. I was like, oh, who's this guy? You know, so I always was a Patriots fan. I made sure I had got that for Christmas while I was in high school. You know, the Drew Bledsoe jersey. I'm sorry, yeah. You know, I had every single Tom Brady jersey. But when I started to realize the NFL and sports was bullshit, I had to get rid of them. I don't even like wearing jerseys no more because it's like, why am I rooting for you and you plan on losing? So why am I rooting for you for? What's the sense of being a fan when I know that you have no intentions of winning? You got like anybody watching, anybody watching, just hear me out. Do you ever feel that way? Right? Like you are a fan of said player. Insert here, whoever you want to say. It could be whatever sport, right? This is what kills me when it comes to sports. I am a fan of you, right? So I'm a fan of you. I'm going hard for you. I have your freaking jersey. I go and get the hat, the match. You know when we all do that, we get the sneakers, the match, whatever it is, whatever. You go get the coat and the jacket. You rooting for this team, right? Hear me out. You're rooting for this team. You're rooting for them. Man, they're gonna win. This is my team. We're gonna do damage this season. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. You know, we're arguing with each other about what team is better, right? Yo, they're gonna go hard. Now it's game time. You ready? You got your bail, you got your drinks or whatever. You know, you and your boys, or even your, you know, because there's a lot of women that like to ride with their man and, you know, and watch games with them and things like that too. You know, so you and your even your girl, right? Your girl, your wife, she got the jersey too, because you know, you guys is representing a certain player that comes from your hometown. You guys see it all the time, right? Y'all going hard for this, you know, and then y'all have other people that y'all cool with, y'all all meet up Sunday afternoon, and you know, y'all have wings and shit. And y'all have a good time watching football Sunday. Let's say it could be any sport, right? But I'm just saying football Sunday, right? Y'all all going hard, clapping, rooting, right? Not knowing that this said player in this said team has to lose on purpose.
Are you fucking serious?
Wouldn't that do something to you if you really found that out? Like, God damn, I'm going hard rooting for you. I'm rooting for you more than you rooting for your goddamn self. You're not even allowed to win today, and yet I'm going hard for you. That's how I felt. That's when I said, yo, you got a lot of fans have to relax. And I see that they mentioned things about fans in this trailer or the movie, a fan's obsession. See, everything that I'm saying, you guys, this whole live, this past 2 hours, they relate to this movie. Every single thing I'm talking about right now relates to this movie. This is what you guys have to realize. You got to know what you're getting into when you watch these games. Me personally, I know now, no offense to anybody that does this, right? I don't even really pay attention too much. Like, I don't go so hard at judging it too much, but a lot of people have to get out of the mindset of saying we when it comes to your team. Just because it's from the city where you from right now, or the state where you from, or you know said player, right? Because he's from your hometown, or he went to your high school or your college, whatever it is, you have to get out the mind frame of saying we, because you are not a part of that team. You gotta stop saying that. We about to do this. We about to do that. You ain't about to do nothing.
Are you fucking serious?
You ain't a part of that. You're not a part of that. And then, once again, like I said a minute ago, you got to stop going so hard and not even realize this team has no chance of even winning that day. My fault. What happened at the Super Bowl with the Chiefs? Wasn't everybody going hard for the Chiefs? The three-peat. What happened in the first 5 minutes? Oh, yeah, 5-6 minutes of the game. Look how they looked. They had no chance of. They wasn't even planning on winning. So all of you guys is going hard, saying they're going to three-peat, they're going to win, they're going to now. My fault. This is not to get at y'all, but I'm just saying, like, understand what I'm saying. Like, oh, we about to go hard for this team. Has no. They don't even have no plans of winning. They're not even trying to win this game, but yet you're going hard for them. That's why I tell people, be very careful when it comes to rooting. The only time I could.
Are you fucking serious?
Now, if you're betting and you got money on the line, of course you want. Of course, because remember, you're getting something out of it. If you lose, that's the whole thing with betting. That's the whole risk part. I don't care if you're betting $1, $10, $100, $1,000, or $10,000. You're still betting your money, right? It can be $5. You got a $5 parlay on the line, right? And you take your chances and you lose. Okay, it is what it is. But that's the reason why you betting. I mean, that's the reason why you're rooting for that team, because you actually want to see them win. But you got people that actually go hard, like they're really a part of that organization. You ain't a part of that organization. You have to be careful with that, because only one team can win. And being that we know that this is all predetermined, you have to be careful out the teams that you root for, because only really one of them is supposed to win. And a lot of you, it's kind of like going for the Cleveland Browns. I don't even understand why there are fans in the stands when it comes to a lot of these teams. They have no chance of winning. Now, if you going because it's your day off, you want to escape reality, go to a sports game, of course, right? A lot of people work hard. They work hard. They want to break. Whatever that break entails, whatever that is. All right, let's go to a game. You got to be careful, though. Don't go in that stands thinking that they're going to go so hard to where they win a championship. It's not going to happen. Now, if you are going there for betting purposes, that makes more sense because you get something out of it. But betting, just thinking that your favorite team going to win, it's not going to happen. Only one team gets to win a year per sport, right? So a lot of y'all going to be heartbroken. Be careful. That's the reason why a lot of people get stressed out when it comes to their teams. I don't get stressed out because I don't have no team that I root for. I always get you from New York. You're not a Giants fan. You're not a Jets fan. You're not a Knicks fan. You're not a Yankee fan. You're not a Met fan. You're not a this fan. I have teams that I would like to see win, like the Mets. I would like to see them have success. But if you ask me, who you think is going to win? Do you think the Mets are going to win the championship? Hell nah.
Are you fucking serious?
Do I think the Yankees is going to win the championship? No. The Knicks? Do we even got to go there when it comes to the Knicks? The Nets? No, you guys get what I'm saying. There's teams that's selected to win. Only a few is going to win. Stop going hard. And stop fucking thinking the Cowboys is going to win a goddamn Super Bowl, because it's not going to happen. I keep getting. Let me tell you something. As long as Jerry Jones is running that shit, it's not going to happen.
Are you fucking serious?
That's what I'm saying. That's that delusional shit. My man Blackbird McKnight, he finally came in the building. What's up, my guy? And yes, tomorrow when we go live, I think I'm doing 2 lives tomorrow. An early one, right? And then also while the game is going on. So anybody that's in the chat, make sure you guys subscribe. That's not subscribed. I want to go live twice, early live and also during the game with the whole Eagles and the Cowboys. Once again, like I said, about that, the 7.5. If you took the 6.5, that's a dangerous lie. I wouldn't have took it anyway. I wouldn't have took it no way for the underdog or the favorite. Now that I went to 7.5, I feel like you're more safe. But if you could push it to an 8 for a good price, I would say stick with that. Try to get it at 8 for a good price, just in case it lands on an 8. Because 7.5, that's a hook. No game can land on the 7.5. But just to be safe, the 8. Then again, once again, that 8. Just to be safe. So yeah, I do wanna like go live while that game is happening. So we'll see what it's looking like. What I mean by see what it's looking like see what the energy is looking like. Like, do I think it's worth it? But most likely we probably would have the scoreboard up, and because we're back, right? We want to see how that goes. Is it gonna be a blowout? See, and that's another thing. I don't like blowouts. Because if it's going to be a blowout, it just defeats the whole purpose. Or tomorrow game between the Chiefs and the Chargers is going to be a blowout. I don't know. I think one of those games is going to be a blowout. You think the NFL is going to give us 2 back-to-back good games? Them days is over, y'all. I hope y'all know that. They promote it like it's going to be a competitive game. These games are promoted like it's going to be a competitive game. Once again, in my Dr. Umar's voice, these games are promoted for the 3rd time. These games are promoted like it's going to be a good game. But a lot of them don't. Especially standalone games. Let me say that. But that is my main pick for week 1. For week 1, my main pick is the Chargers with the +3. The San Diego / LA Chargers with the +3. Hopefully we can start off 1-0 instead of 0-1. Last year we started 0-1, and I think we only lost like 1 game after that for the rest of the year. So we had a successful year with our main game pick. Our main game pick did good last year. We did real good. Only lost 2. Yeah, only lost the first week and also the week before last. Right? So hopefully we do. I would like to go undefeated. I know it could be a bit of a stretch, but that's why I got to be careful with how I pick them. So I mean, it looked like, oh shit, it looked like it'd be promising. What is that on the hat? Stupid. Oh wait, okay. Wait. Let me see. He says it's not just America. I just see it being a close Chiefs game. Well, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully it lands on 3, money man. Hopefully it lands on 3. If it lands on 3, that's a good thing. If it lands on 3, that's a push, right? That's a push. I'm telling everybody take that. But if you could find a 3.5, and if you're gonna parlay in it, because I know a lot of you guys are gonna parlay, right? If you can get a 3.5. Because if you're going to take the 3, you could buy a half of a hook. You could buy a half of that, especially if you parlay in. Why not? That way, if it does end up in 3, you can end up winning, But the 3 is for the push, but I'm going with that. Hopefully, they just win straight up. The Dak pass. Repeat says the Dak pass and run combined for 275. I just don't know what to think about Dak Prescott, to be honest with you. I just don't know what to think about him at all. Mello says, I always tell people, do you really think all them players care about winning a ring or the money more? They care about the money more because only one team can win. Like I said, per team. I'm sorry, per sport. So it's the money. It's the money. Give me the money and the fame. That's who we at. It's not about the rings. It's not the ring. But because think about it, the champions never get coverage like that, right? Think about it. OKC don't even get coverage. They won the championship. They should be getting coverage on all the sports channels until the NBA restarts again. Like you're supposed to treat them heavy. You don't really hear about them like that. The Eagles won now here in the East Coast. The Eagles do get a lot of burn. I'm not gonna lie, they do. But let's just keep it 100. The Cowboys get more coverage than the Eagles do. It is what it is, right? All the teams that win usually don't get the coverage. Even when the Patriots and Tom Brady was dominating, they wasn't getting the coverage like that. It was all the other teams, aka the Cowboys. The Cowboys is football. It is what it is. My man Adrian says, Adrian, what you hear earlier? No, you wasn't. He said FanDuel has the Dallas Cowboys plus 8.5. There you go. 8.5. I like that. 8.5 to be safe, y'all. Yeah, but that line keeps growing. I understand your man's not there no more, Micah Parsons, but that line keeps growing. For all of that, honestly, to be safe, if you're on a parlay, you might as well stretch that joint and buy 2.5 more points. Stretch that joint to 11 and be safe. Type shit, because then it just might be a blowout if this shit's gonna keep blowing. If it's gonna keep growing like that. To be honest with you, I don't know. My man Blackbird, he says I got the Giants money line, and he took the Cowboys money line. So Blackbird got a Giants money line and a Cowboys money line. Now, are you still going to parlay that? Let me know if you're gonna parlay that together, because that's a little dangerous one if you was to do that. I would like to see it though. No, it says I wanted the Chiefs to lose, but I thought they would 3P. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. They wasn't gonna happen. I knew for sure. That's why I was going so hard. Like they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. 3P. That's an easy way to will people in. Them 3P days it's like you have to earn it. Think about the teams that did 3P in sports, right? You could say the whole Bulls thing. I guess they earned their 3P. You know, when the Lakers did it, I guess they earned theirs. Like Patrick Mahomes, you just have him come in and do that over a lot of players that been there before him. Like he could just I don't see that happening. That wasn't not that quick. Let's say that. Not that quick. Patrick Mahomes didn't have no failure. See, at least Michael Jordan had failures before he was able to 3-peat the first time. Right? Think about it. He was able to have failures before he was able to 3P. Patrick Mahomes never had a failure, not season, but he never had a failure run, right? Think about it. It wasn't going to give him that, no 3P. Since Patrick Mahomes became a starting quarterback, he always had a successful season, right? So we're going to give him a 3P? Nah, you ain't have no failures. Yeah, you got to have some failures before you do that. Right? But the last no. I was gonna say no, not even. No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, a lot of then Michael Jordan was able to have his 3Ps. What, the Lakers? I mean, think about the teams that was able to do the 3Ps. It's not happening, man. Yeah, you can go straight as an athlete or make sacrifices. Which one you want to do? If it's about the money, it's about the money. It's about the money. You know what I mean? So, this one, Joe. Yeah, he said Drew Bledsoe fan. I'm dead. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? No, like dead ass though. Dead ass. That's how you know. Like I'm keeping it real, right? Because you know a lot of people always when they say they're a fan of somebody, they always talk about the great quarterbacks. Now, I was a fan of Drew Bledsoe. But I mean, remember I used to watch the Jets and the Patriots battle a lot. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch that a lot. I went to Jets games. You know what I'm saying? So I saw that a lot. Drew Bledsoe was a good quarterback. He was a good quarterback. I thought he was gonna win against the Packers in that Super Bowl. That's what I thought. They almost had a chance. It turned, but that's when I was believing it was real. But it was all set up for Brett Favre and them. Now I know. You know what I'm saying? So just like I know, I can keep it real. I know what's up. I know what's up. Let me see. Let's see what these last ones is talking about. Mellow Gray says the Cowboys cover. That's what I'm saying. But what do they cover? Because that line keeps going up. Now it's 8.5. Now let me recheck it again to make sure. Not saying that what he said was it's 8.5 now. It keeps growing. So I mean, it's like anybody that had him at 6.5, I know they probably feel no. 8.5 is good. 8.5. I don't know. Man, that game, that to me, that's an in-play game. Yeah, I know how I am. That's an in-play game for me. That's why I say it's kind of hard to even play that for me. That's an in-play game. That line keeps moving up. When Micah left, it went to 7.5. Okay, boom, the bus could stop there. But why does it keep going up now? Now he's not there. What else happened? An injury happened? I don't know. We're gonna have to see what goes on tomorrow with that one. Noah says, I heard Philly don't want to celebrate the banner and the rings in front of the fans on ring night. Yes, I heard about that too. I don't know how that's going to affect, because usually when you celebrate, you usually lose, right? So I wonder, does that have anything to do with it? A lot of people starting to pick up onto these things, so they have to trick the fans out. So I would like to see what really happens. Do they celebrate it or do they not? Does it have anything to do with the win or not? Is it going to end up a close game, or does it end up on 7? Repeat says, Dallas and Giants money line parlay would be it. It would be it. It would. I don't be surprised if it hits though. That's not something I will play, but I don't be surprised if it hits. Blackbird says, yes, I took the Giants to cover. Yes, good. If anybody get the Giants at an 8. Try to take the Giants out of 8 just to be safe. Mahomes struggled in 2003. Yeah, he did, but he still had a successful year. Meaning, like, there was never a down year for the Chiefs. That was his they said that was his quote unquote struggle year, right? But his struggling year still was success, which was crazy, right? That's why I believe something gonna happen this year with Patrick Mahomes. I can't call it. It may not be right away. But pay attention to 8 games or even the whole season. Maybe 6 games, 8 games, or for the whole season in case he's injured. In case he does get injured. The books are begging us to take Dallas. That's what I'm saying. I think you guys should play it by in-play. Anybody that got the ticket already, that's fine. But still play it as an in-play. You just never know. Just keep your ears to the streets too. Whatever news you might hear. And because me, I won't look at it until it's in play. I'm tell you that now. So if anybody asks me, B, who you like for the Dallas game, I tell you now. Being that it's moving, being that this line keeps moving, I have to be careful on how I take this game. It might be an in play, to tell you the truth. Now, if we're going live, right? If we are live tomorrow during the game, then we could talk. As far as like, if I have to take somebody, who I'll take. So, that's what we got, right? So, tomorrow we back live. We back live early tomorrow. Got another topic for y'all. And then, football kicks off that night tomorrow. So, we back. Got another interesting topic for y'all. Man, this was a great show. The numbers was going up and down. I liked it. Shout out to all y'all for tuning in. Like I said, you could have been in anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. We had a great freaking live, but I'm sorry. This is Patrick Mahomes. I think this is his struggle year, right? Even if he don't get injured, I don't think it's just going to be easy peasy the way everybody think it is. Let me just say that. I'm definitely seeing that movie. Next week, we are going to do a live about the movie. We're going to do that. And shit. Man, it is what it is, man. I had a great time with y'all. For real. So, I mean, I just want to know. I need to know. Is it rigged? Is it scripted? Is it fixed? I don't know. You tell me. See you tomorrow.